If you are a literature English teacher, student, or a literature enthusiast, why don't you fasten your belt and let's fly together to the world of literature? It's on this note I welcome you to Literature Hub 247, where the heart and science of literature are discussed. This video is about an African poem titled Hearty Garlands. Hearty Garlands is composed by S.O.H. Afriyie-vidza. This poem is in the Waec 2026 to 2030 syllabus. Earlier on this platform, I've presented a complete review of this poem. In fact, you need to watch that video before you watch this one so that you understand our explanation in this particular video. This particular video is about a Waec-standard question on Hearty Garlands. A Waec-standard question on Hearty Garlands. So this question is answered according to the specification of Waec, according to the way Waec wants you to answer a literature English question. So let me also use this medium to inform you that I have an ebook that contains 200 Waec standard questions with the model answers. 200 Waec standard questions with the model answers. And it is based on the 2026 to 2030 Waec syllabus. So the book is titled Exam Ready. So I'm going to leave the link in the description of this video for you to download this book because it's an ebook. So I will leave the link in the description of this video for you to download. So let's move to the classroom. Now the question says, consider the tone of the poem. How does it balance admiration, affection, and lightheartedness? Consider the tone of the poem. How does it balance admiration, affection, and lightheartedness? The poem we are making reference to is Hearty Garlands. So we need to study the question very well. If there is any literary device mentioned, we need to explain the literary device in the question. Now, if you look at the question very well, you see that we have tone. Tone is a literary device. So we are going to explain the meaning of tone, and we relate the question to a relevant theme. So those are the guidelines of Waec. So after that, now go ahead and answer the question. So tone is the speaker's attitude toward the subject or audience as conveyed through word choice, syntax, imagery, rhythm, and other stylistic features. So through the tone of the poet, we can understand the mood of that particular poet. Tone shapes how readers feel about what is being said and helps produce the poem's overall emotional effect. This tonal balance reinforces the poem's central theme of legacy and mentorship. That is relating it to a specific theme, relating it to a relevant theme there. By combining admiration, public honor, with affection, personal gratitude, and lightheartedness, relational warmth, the poem presents the honoree's legacy as both socially significant and intimately felt. The tone insists that greatness is to be celebrated publicly and held close by those shaped by it. Legacy is communal, dignified, and delightfully human. In Hearty Garlands, the poet achieves a steady balance between admiration, affection, and lightheartedness by mixing elevated ceremonial diction with warm, intimate address and playful colloquial gestures. These combined choices create a tone that honors the celebrant while keeping him human, loved, and part of a loving, grateful community. No matter the celebration, no matter the praise, the man still remains a human. is not demonized throughout the poem. Admiration emerges through formal, lofty images and ceremonial language. Let's look at some examples here. Phrases such as, age 85 is life smiling, cloudless dawn. It is the gainful twilight of fulfilled dreams, quote and unquote. This is quoted from the poem. This is used paradoxical, elevated metaphors to dignify old age as luminous and rewarding. Also, references to lofty conquer toil, quote and unquote, and the expectation of a trumpet sound that to a guru must blow solo musical bravo, quote and unquote, place the celebrants in near ceremonial triumphant terms. So let's look at some of the devices used here to achieve some of the devices used to achieve this. We have the use of elevated diction, metaphors of triumph and reward, and musical ceremonial imagery. This makes the tone reverent and respectful. Affection arises in the poem from direct address, communal voice, and tender images. The persistent second person address, you, that is the use of you, quote and unquote, to you, for you, creates intimacy. The poem reads like a personal toast. Collective form shows in you, wondrous mentor of rogues like us, quote and unquote, and receive copious blessing today. They stay well blessed, quote and unquote. The speakers present themselves as grateful apprentices. That is, those that are praising the man, they present themselves as grateful apprentices. Let's look at the way they refer to themselves as rogues. They say, you wondrous mentor of rogues like her. They are making reference to the impact of the celebrants on them. Gentle domestic images, cozy conveyed trait, quote and unquote, reminiscing and fondling a lingering smile. This evoke warmth and tenderness toward the honoree. Now let's look at the devices used here. We have inclusive pronouns, we, us, direct address, domestic imagery, and diminutive, affectionate phrasing. This produces a fond communal tone. Lightheartedness is introduced so that the poem will not become a solemn flattery. Comic, unexpected metaphors like shake your own hands like Iroko Agama, quote and unquote, combine grandeur. Iroko there represents, it symbolizes grandeur with a humorous image, a self-congratulatory shake inviting a smile. We have colloquial imperative, march on, old boy, do, quote and unquote, and self-deprecating phrases, rogues like horse, quote and unquote, soften the register and produce friendly teasing. The stanza, where shame, ori, green hide, envy, fight, benin, felicitation, quote and unquote, dramatizes social reaction with a lively, almost comic personification. Now these are the devices used to achieve that. We have colloquial diction, comic smiles, imperatives, and personification. These elements add a buoyant human touch. In conclusion, tone in Hearty Garlands is a careful blend. Lofty praise establishes the celebrant's words. Tone in Hearty Garlands is a careful blend. Lofty praise establishes the celebrant's words. Affectionate language secures relational warmth, and playful touches prevent deification. That is, the man is not deified despite all the praises from the people that are celebrating the man. So that's the question to the answer on Hearty Garlands. Don't forget, I'm going to leave the link to Exam Ready so that you can download it in the description of this video. Just check for the link in the description of this video for you to download the book. Please, if you are new on this platform, try and click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be part of this class. Whenever any video is produced, you are going to be notified. Like this video. You are free to share any of my videos on any social media platform. Invite your friends and colleagues to join us. If you have any comments or any form of advice, just use the comment section and it will be attended to. Thank you and God bless. Let's meet in the next class.